Karate. Johnny Karate.
Okay.
That's a nice vehicle. What is that? Is that a Colorado or something?
What?
What?
Huh?
That truck.
That's I don't know what the fuck that
looks beast. It's like
All right. Are we ready, guys?
Yep.
Perfect. All right. Welcome back. That was a good opening. All right. Perfect. Guess who's back?
Back again.
Yeah. All right.
Guess
Welcome,
who's back?
everybody,
Guess
to
who's back?
episode
Guess who's
2 of Play for Blood, presented by Culturecopia, and beer, sponsored by One Beer at a Time. With me, as always, is from the One Beer at a Time podcast, Jimbo Mozzarella.
What's up, everybody?
And the fastest dick in the West, Casey.
Thank you. It is fast.
3 seconds flat, I heard. It's impressive.
Faster.
Damn.
2 pump slump.
Today we are talking about Sylvester Stallone.
Arnold's rival. We kind of did
Friend.
this back to back.
My name is John Rambo. We served.
Yeah.
There you go.
Man.
Not Rambo 1, but Rambo 2. You know, he's all cut up. Yeah, man. You more shredded than a Julian salad, man.
Yeah,
Any tips?
we'll have to cover. We'll have to do a whole special on like action comedies.
Oh, yeah.
At some point, and that's
Yeah.
gonna be a good one to bring up, man.
But a great reference to the great Sly
okay.
Stallone.
Thanks for patting yourself on the back. I had a great reference, guys.
That was a great reference.
I had a great reference, guys.
Oh, fuck you.
All right,
You fat.
Hey, listen. Let's start with the same question that Jim asked last week about Arnold Schwarzenegger. What was the first Sylvester Stallone movie you remember seeing?
Yeah, honestly, it's probably
So
Rocky.
interesting, Jim.
I just trying to figure it out. It honestly probably is Rocky.
Okay.
Would probably be the first one my dad showed me.
I would have to say Rambo. Rambo was the first Stallone movie I ever watched and fell in love with.
First Blood or First Blood Part 2?
First Blood.
Jesus Christ.
Matt, you?
I don't think I can remember.
That's why I said I had to say Rocky. It's like, I don't know that I can
Yeah.
remember, but my best educated guess would be it probably was Rocky.
Rob, I know you don't get on Michael a lot anymore, but like, what was yours? Do you remember?
Yeah, what was the one with him and Dolly Parton? Was that Rhinestone Cowboy?
Yes.
Maybe.
That one.
Yeah.
It's pretty lame.
It had to be one of the Rocky movies for me. It had to be.
Yeah. Well, that's such a it's such a good movie for fathers to show sons.
Yeah.
That I feel like if your dad's not a huge Sylvester Stallone fan,
Yeah.
but it's such a triumphant sports movie that's why I feel like that's probably the movie my dad showed me first of Sly Stallone.
Yeah.
I was going to say, if you just got on AMC used to always play 3 and 4. Rocky 3 and 4.
Yeah.
It's funny you say
And
3 and
then
4 because I think 3 might have been the first one I saw.
Well, 3 is the one most people don't realize that the Eye of the Tiger is not
Yep.
in 1 and 2.
No,
it's from 3.
3. Clubber
Yeah.
Lang.
Yep.
Okay. Do you know why I know that?
Why?
As a kid, I never really like paid attention to which movie that was in and which of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know that's been like the whole that's the Rocky theme, whatever. But Dr. Dolittle.
Like the Eddie Murphy movie?
Yes. He's because he could talk to animals, remember?
Right.
And he's talking to the tiger.
Ah.
And the tiger was like all bummed out for some reason. Like the tiger was like had like depression, and he's like trying to cheer up the tiger. And in his Eddie Murphy fast pace, he's like, everybody looks like he's like Tigers of Fist, like that song, The Eye of the Tiger. Remember, Rocky couldn't beat Clubber Lang. He was trying to beat Clubber Lang, so he needed something to pump him up. It was that song, Eye of the Tiger, Eye of the Tiger, not Eye of the Donkey, not Eye of the. It was whatever. He's like Eye of the Tiger. So I just that stuck with me.
Okay. So
Was that a good Eddie
No,
Murphy?
I had actually
Okay.
for a
I thought that was raw.
for a fat white guy doing an Eddie Murphy impression. That was not
That was
bad.
okay. Thanks. I needed that validation. I appreciate it.
So
It was raw.
there is one thing I want to read because we talked about it beforehand, and we're
Okay.
It'll pop up occasionally.
Okay.
This is a summary off of IMDb for one of Sly's first starring roles in Kitty and the Stud, the porno flick that he did.
Magical.
So here's the summary. Kitty and Stud are lovers. They enjoy a robust sex life, which includes fellatio, light S&M, but specifically stud belt whipping Kitty. 3 women come over for a party, and Stud services them one after the other. And that, my fellow Americans, is the description for Sly Stallone's porno.
Yay.
I will be watching it for the 5th time.
light S&M.
What year was that?
That would be
70.
2013.
73.
Well, that's the remake. 1970 exactly.
70 itself?
1970.
Okay.
So, and I'm gonna not to derail too hard here,
Oh, you're railing.
but I have a funny. We talk about our parents showing us some of these early movies, and this is
God.
That was your first one?
no.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, where's this going?
The reason I know what S&M is Metallica came out with an album in the early 2000s called Metallica S&M. It was them with the San Francisco Symphony. And my brother and I wanted to buy that album, and my mom was like, "No, I'm not. You're not getting that fucking album." We're like, "Why?" She's like, "Because it's S&M." And we're like, "Yeah, Symphony and Metallica. Like, what's wrong with Symphony and Metallica?" And she's like, "That's not what S&M stands for." We're like, "Oh, well, okay, Mom, what does it stand for?" "Well, it's sadism and masochism." "Oh, well, Mother, what is sadism and masochism?" "Well, that's pornographic, where people put on leather and they whip each other and beat each other." And we're like, "Oh, well, okay, I thought it stood for Symphony and Metallica, but thanks for explaining S&M to an 11-year-old.
Thank you for explaining it to a 33-year-old. Now I will Google that and get viruses.
Well, BDSM would be bondage and sadism and masochism.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
looking up
typically
the
what you
wrong
see
stuff.
now is BDSM. In the new age of porno.
The wave.
Eventually, we'll have one whole episode where we don't talk about porno.
Eventually.
No, probably not.
Well, I mean, it came up organically in last episode, and then in this episode, Sly was in a fucking porno.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true. So his first his first breakout role had to have been Rocky, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Wait, hold on. You and I had an assignment that I think I'm the only one that actually did.
Probably, I'm totally unprepared.
And yes, he co-starred in a movie with David Carradine before Rocky.
Okay. Yes.
Death Race 2000.
Yes. I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I did not watch it. You're right.
He plays the nemesis to David Carradine,
Yeah.
Joe Vitrabo. And many people are not going to know what the fuck Death Race 2000 is. However, and we'll talk about this action star later,
Yeah.
Jason Statham starred in a reboot called Death Race.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
He plays David Carradine's character, Frankenstein.
Yeah.
And Tyrese plays Machine Gun Joe.
Okay.
Sly Stone's
Machine Gun Joe Vitrabo.
Machine Gun Joe Vitrabo.
Okay.
So I would say now Breakout, yes, he wrote and directed Rocky, but I would say his first co-headlining would probably have to be Death Race 2000.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
And-
I forgot all about that.
And watching it, I kind of expected him not to be in a lot of it. No, I mean he is the nemesis.
The main.
He's the main nemesis to
Okay.
David Carradine, R.I.P.
Very
You
few
want to
Sly movies I
you want to
Well,
talk about some S&M?
Hopefully, Jason Statham doesn't accidentally choke himself with a belt.
Oh, yeah.
while masturbating.
Yeah.
Masturbating.
All right. R.I.P. to David Carradine, who seemed like an okay guy.
I always liked
just a
Kung Fu.
humiliating way to
not
go.
a great way. Not a great way.
Do you ever see that movie with him and Rob Schneider?
What?
Big Stan.
I don't think so.
Rob Schneider's going to prison for something.
I've seen some
Tax
scenes of it,
evasion
yeah.
or something. It was basically, so you know that movie The movie Get Hard.
Yeah, with Kevin Hart and
Will
Will Ferrell. Yeah.
So Get Hard's basically like I want to say a knockoff of that. Obviously, they had a bigger budget. It was a theatrical release.
Isn't his
big
master
stand.
in that the guy from Kill Bill?
David Carradine?
Yeah,
That's who we're talking about.
Exactly. I should watch movies.
So you've seen Big Stand.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that's basically what it is. It's like Rob Schneider's going to prison. And he's like, I'm gonna get my ass kicked in there. Like, I need somebody to like help me. And David Carradine is like his like mentor of like, this is how you're gonna handle yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. No,
It's
never
pretty
seen
funny.
that.
It's pretty funny.
There's
There's
some really good scenes in there.
There's a hilarious scene where Rob Schneider has his girlfriend or wife, whoever she was. He's like, just to prepare myself because I don't know what's gonna happen in there. He's like, you're gonna have to peg me with a strap on.
Yeah. One of the scenes is he's going in jail and they all have to do the cavity search. And he bends over and the guards are like big buff dudes. And this guy screams like a little girl when he bends over and he's like, look at it. He's like, it's staring right into my soul.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, buttholes.
It's a good one. Anyway, let's get back to Sly Stallone.
And his butt.
So Rocky 2, Rocky 3.
4,
I mean,
5.
yeah.
6.
Like so Rocky and then 2 and 3 had all come out before First Blood.
Yeah. So, and I was just gonna ask, when do you think like kind of the rivalry, with Arnold starts? And it has to be First Blood.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Because Rocky, it's a sports movie. I wouldn't really call it an action film.
Yeah.
Right. Those are sports movies. There's action in them. There's boxing, but no one's calling Raging Bull the action movie of the summer.
Yeah.
So First Blood is where we get into Sly's action career.
Yeah. Well, the two of them were on a similar trajectory.
Yeah.
Starting out
Kitty and the Stud, Hercules in New York.
Yep.
well, I would put Death Race 2000 around the same, not same time frame, but that's in that same kind of category of Hercules in New York.
Yeah.
Where it's not a known movie.
Correct.
But they were big roles for those guys, and their first big roles.
I would
come around
argue it's a well enough known movie that they remade it 4 times.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure, but if you just if you look
like
at
nobody
those,
would really know.
Yeah.
Those.
yeah, if you look at those two careers,
Yeah.
there's a lot of parallels.
Oh, absolutely.
Which I think is why we kind of decided to do like these. Arguably, these two men are probably the
Oh, they absolutely are.
Two
and
biggest
then,
action
and then on
stars.
top of that, I mean, they legitimately had a rivalry going
Yeah.
on. We get into that when we go to like Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Yeah.
Was a whole movie that Arnold tricked Sly into taking.
Yeah.
And Sly says it's his worst fucking movie. And he was legit pissed at Arnold for that one.
Guys, I like that movie.
That's fine.
It's a good movie, man. Estelle Getty is fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I grew up watching The Golden Girls with my mom. We talked about it. I watched a lot of like a lot of these action films with my dad, obviously, but then like, you know, during the day, like my mom worked from home, and so like, you know, like during the day I'd watch a lot of like TV with her, and like Golden Girls was the fucking shit, bro.
I've watched a lot of movies with my mom. I actually watched more
The
movies.
Party at Kitty and Studs.
Party at Kitty and Well, I told you the story of like when I was home from college one night, my mom's like, well, let's watch a movie. We haven't watched a movie in a while. So we put on a movie called Before the Devil Knows You're Dead.
Yeah.
And opening scene, Marissa Tomei just getting fucking railed by Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
And now, granted, I'm
Lucky
20
duck.
years old at this point, so like, but still, a little awkward to be sitting on the couch with their mom just watching Marissa Tomei, hot as hell.
Yeah.
Just getting fucking dogged
By Philip Seymour
by
Hoffman.
Philip Seymour
Hot
Hoffman.
as hell.
Hot as hell.
I haven't seen anything wrong with that.
So back on. We derail a lot here. That's gonna
that's
be a
our
running.
thing.
We're
thing.
railing.
It's a running man. Please don't let that be a regular joke.
That is.
Fuck.
You've already made it a regular joke. Too late.
So I think you're right. First Blood, you can parallel it to Commando,
Yeah. Absolutely.
and that's where
Absolutely.
we get into. And maybe that has a little bit to do with the I don't want to say lack of success, because Commando is a successful film. But if you ask the general population, more people have seen First Blood.
Yep.
Yeah, and so I would actually compare. Actually, same year, I would compare First Blood Part 2 to Commando.
Okay.
They're the same year, and those are more or less the same movie because
that's fair. I'll give
Rambo
you that.
First Blood is based on a book, and it actually has a deep meaning to it. They kind of eliminate that deep meaning by not killing him off at the end, which is what happens in the book. But the whole point of Rambo First Blood, he's not yoked out of his mind. He's not... he doesn't have a bunch of guns. He's guerrilla fighting in the forest. He's he's survival, and he's kicked out of the town because and it has to do with the discrimination and the problems that soldiers faced
when they got
back from Vietnam. Fast forward to First Blood Part 2, he's ripped out of his fucking skull.
He's in jail.
He's shredded.
He's in jail for killing cops.
Yeah, he's shredded. He's got the red bandana. Yeah. That's the one where he's got the fucking explosive arrows. Yeah. He's got the saw machine gun. Just
it is the best one.
It is the best one.
That is the best one.
Yeah, I still say First Blood.
Well, okay.
You can't knock the original.
No.
That bad.
See, to me, First Blood falls a little bit more in. I do love First Blood. It falls a little bit
true survival,
and it falls more in line with like a drama. There's action to it, but it's more of a drama. You hit First Blood Part 2, and it's action movie.
Yep.
Fucking explosive arrows that make this weird whistling noise. Fucking saw machine gun.
Yeah.
He's leaning into his little accent.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, a lot of parallels between him and
I would say,
and
that's actually perfect. I didn't know those came out same year, 85.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Commando and First Blood Part 2 come out same year, and those are the films that really launch into because Arnold starts with the Conan movies. He starts with Rocky and First Blood, and First Blood's a little more of a drama. And then 1985, they both launch into pure action.
I see what you're talking about. There's a bit of a disconnect there. One of them's making hyper-realistic, about like a struggling boxer.
Yeah.
Because, at the same time... First Blood, he is ripped.
Yeah,
he is ripped because he had to get in shape for Rocky too.
He was, but he was
been
more
in bad shape. Did he's always
if you've seen him in his very first, the first Rocky, he's not very ripped.
Yeah,
well, a lot of boxers back then weren't.
No,
that's true.
Ripped.
No.
But also I would say he's really fit in First Blood.
Yeah,
he's not ripped until First Blood Part 2, and that's the whole joke in. Tropic Thunder. Remember Part 2 when he's shredded? Yeah, man, you're more shredded than a Julienne salad. But because that's when he goes in, Arnold's muscled out. He had to be fit. He's playing a former soldier. He's surviving.
Yeah.
But he's not shirtless with a machine gun and a fucking headband on.
Yeah. Would you say that maybe like that's kind of what started that aesthetic of like in real life of like boxers starting to get ripped? Is that like movies like?
Well, I think there's that, and I also think there's the fitness aspect. You go back and you look at old baseball players, old boxers. Fuck, man, even until Tiger Woods, you look at old golfers.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to look at the PGA Tour right now and ask all those guys to take their shirts off, which I know you'd happily do. They're all gonna be pretty fucking ripped.
Dad bods in,
but PGA,
yeah. But up until
John Daly,
well, John Daly's the exception, right?
He would take his shirt off though.
But up until Tiger Woods, those guys didn't really work out. Like
that's true.
Tiger started the fitness thing within golf, so I think
he didn't
more
really like work out so much. He just had like a slender build. And
no, he worked. That's part of what fucked his back up.
Was him working out.
He was the first one to lift, and that's why he could bomb the ball down the fairway. And now guys like Rory and Justin Thomas, they all have fitness coaches that are like, hey, he was just lifting. I'm going to do a fitness regimen for golf so you don't fuck your back up. Whereas Tiger was just fucking, he was in the gym just lifting and not doing it. He was just fucking.
That's what fucked his back up.
He was eating pussy.
That's what fucked his back up.
He was eating pussy. That was his thing. That's Tiger's thing, is eating pussy.
I'm with him.
And getting caught.
And getting caught.
Getting caught was his thing.
So
same year, 1985.
Rocky 4.
Which might be my favorite Rocky.
Is that the one with the robot?
No,
That's the one with
that's the one with the Russian.
Ivan Drago.
If he dies,
he dies. Dolph Lundgren, who will be a topic.
Yeah, we will get to Dolph Lundgren.
Because Dolph has to be up there. But that's
Universal
got to be my
Soldier.
favorite. That's got to be my favorite, man.
Well, I mean,
Rocky 4?
Well, not only that is you just he was the Master of the Universe before that, so you have to see him as a freak show.
That sinister flat top.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the machines he's hooked up to, perfecting the Russian body.
Yeah,
watching the steroids go into him.
I don't know that I have a favorite Rocky. I like all. I love Mr. T. I think the first one is still my favorite, just because it's a great story.
Not better than Raging Bull.
No, but Raging
Bull's
Bull.
a hell of a
yeah, but he also beats his wife, so.
Hell of a movie. Oh my God! Why do we do this?
Oh,
Cobra.
So I actually had not seen Cobra.
Good Lord.
God.
Until probably 3 years ago. No, not even.
Those mirrored aviators.
The fucking.
I have a pair just like that. Every time I put them on, that's all I think of.
Whatever that gun is with the laser on it, like.
Cobra is a severely underrated movie.
Yeah.
Not one of his most popular.
No.
Definitely one of his best.
You're the disease.
So something I love about like Cobra and a lot of
he put toothpicks on the map.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He put toothpicks on the map.
Who did that before
I
Cobra?
can't think of any movie. Well,
Lords, I think they do it like a lot of old gangster
a lot of
films.
old cop movies. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe
Because he is a cop.
Like the like those.
Yeah.
Those kind of. Yeah, like the old
like
noir.
the old TV shows. What's the old cop TV show where the two guys on the bikes on the
Chips.
Chips. That one guy had a toothpick. And a lot of
Eric Estrada or the white guy. Eric Estrada.
Yeah.
Eric Estrada. Ponch.
Poncherelli. And I mean, honestly, movies didn't have a whole lot of guys with sexual toothpicks.
I feel like Cool Hand Luke. No, but it would have fit.
It does feel like
I feel like he needed a toothpick.
Just a shitload
What about Rebel
of
Without a
eggs.
Cause? Did James Dean have a toothpick?
You needed the boss to have a toothpick.
Just a shitload of eggs in Cool Hand Luke.
My boy can eat 50 eggs.
Yeah. God, what a...
I love Cool Hand Luke.
I do. It's a great movie.
Cool Hand Luke is
top 10 favorite movies all time.
Lovely fucking film. Love that fucking movie.
But on Cobra...
okay, well, wait. Speaking about that, Hustle. Where he was the pool player.
Yeah.
He had a toothpick in that one.
Yeah.
That's
there you go. That's
there's
why
a toothpick.
There's toothpicks.
But
Cobra just
Cobra
badass.
Cobra to me also kind of kicks off like a thing that's big in like 80s and early 90s action films. They don't like now everything turns into a franchise and you got to give backstories and do all this shit.
Yeah.
And Cobra, it feels like a guy that should have a backstory and you're supposed to know who Cobra is.
Yes.
Yeah, there's not. There's just, he's a cop with a bad attitude.
But that's the thing is you're finding out his background.
Exactly. And I love that because now I feel like movies feel the need to like, well, we got to have a first one and that's going to explain who Cobra is.
Yeah.
And then in 2, that's when we'll get into the fucking action. Fuck it. Back in the 80s, it was just like, here's a cop that throughout the movie you find out that like he's got a bad attitude. He doesn't get along with the captain. He
won't have a partner.
Yeah, he won't have a partner. Maybe his partner died at some point, and I haven't taken a partner since.
Yeah.
But
we don't know that.
Right, but like a lot of 80s action
exposition.
movies. Yeah, a lot of 80s action movies, they just gave you this like rogue cop or a former special predator. Yeah. Right? Like, clearly him and Dylan have history. They met Dylan, you son of a bitch.
No Basil exposition.
Yeah. We didn't need a prequel to Predator to explain why him and Dylan used to work together. Now Dylan works for the CIA.
It didn't matter.
It just fucking happened.
Yep.
Cobra. We didn't need his previous 5 years on the force.
Son of a bitch.
It fucking happened.
I would love more movies like that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, yeah, now, like, they don't expect us to be... I feel like they think we're all fucking idiots and can't just... Or the writers are terrible enough to where they don't know how to give exposition throughout the film. Like, you kind of learn Cobra's history throughout the film.
Yeah.
but there's no flashbacks.
It's
you don't need to.
You don't need it. It's a testament to good writing and filmmaking. Honestly, it is.
And I can't believe we're just saying
Cobra.
that Cobra has good writing.
Cobra. We're talking about Cobra as a okay. What about his following romp after that?
But
Over the Top.
Over the top.
Well, let's
fucking
I
arm
want to
wrestling
jump back
movie.
to the Cobra.
You have something to talk about Cobra?
Yeah, because do you know the main villain in that movie? Oh my God, what is his name? Basically, the slasher.
Yeah.
He was not known in a lot of movies, and that movie really put him up there because he went on to do Jason and the Argonauts 2000, like the remake, and he played Hercules. And he was
Brian
phenomenal.
Thompson, fucking Shao Kahn.
Shao Kahn, yeah.
Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
Well, and that dude just has such a distinctive.
But not only that
face.
is how many movies did Arnie have where he had a guy who was just as ripped as him fighting him?
Yeah.
Sly had an actual villain who was just as ripped as he was.
Yeah.
And they duked it out.
Well, I mean, the comparison to that, the reverse of that is, if we're looking at like Terminator 2, they went the exact opposite of that. He does. He has somebody that is faster and more cunning than he is.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're all robots.
We didn't bring that up. We did not bring that up last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Robert Patrick
Oh yeah.
in T2
Oh yeah.
is absolutely brilliant.
And all the shit he did for that. Yeah.
He trained so fucking hard for that. They had to tell him to slow down.
Yeah.
Because he was outrunning the
Well, not only, the whole thing. He learned how to run without opening his mouth.
Yep.
He was breathing through his nose, so it looked like
that
he was untired.
motherfucker.
He trained himself to fire a gun without blinking, so that it would look like a robot was firing a fucking Beretta 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fantastic. So
God, dude.
But no, you pose a very interesting question. Well, hold on, Predator. It's not a guy.
Okay, the only thing I could think about for Arnie was Conan 2, where he goes up against what's the guy's name with the long black hair and who was the princess's bodyguard.
Yeah.
That's the only guy I can think about.
Well, I mean, the Predator was bigger and stronger than he was.
At least
Another
early
alien
on.
it's an alien versus a human. I mean, like, you got two just guys, regular guys.
Yeah.
Who just duke it out. One's a
Oh,
serial killer.
no. Commando.
Yeah.
That's that is a wrestler, right? Who?
Oh yeah. What was his name? He's all about the knife.
I said it's been over 20 years since I
Hold on. You guys keep
Commando. Honestly,
he was a sergeant, wasn't he?
It's been so fucking long.
He was a police officer.
Well, I don't know.
Well, they were in the same
After
they were in the same regiment, and that's like the backstory in Commando is he knows John Matrix.
Yeah, because they work together. Because
Vernon Wells.
If I know him, he's not on that plane.
Was not a wrestler. I always thought that guy was a wrestler.
He looks that
Vernon
way.
Wells, just an Australian actor, but he was yoked, wearing the chainmail with all about the knife.
Yeah, I mean,
in their end
Arnie's
fight,
still just completely overpowered.
Yeah.
So over the
kills
top.
him with a steam pipe.
Over the top.
Over the top.
Over the top.
An over the top movie.
I mean, it's a fucking movie about arm wrestling, for God's sakes.
He puts his hat on backwards.
Yeah.
Regrips, which by the way
is illegal
in professional arm wrestling.
Was there professional arm wrestling at this time?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I would assume so. Otherwise, why would they make a fucking
otherwise,
movie
why
about
the hell
it?
would they make that movie?
Maybe it formed after.
But not only that,
I don't know.
The thing with the thumb.
But the whole thing about I see so many things about that movie when he regrips, which is like the iconic, like he does that and then he fucking takes the guy down. Apparently, that's you're not supposed to.
But it's
okay.
It's an illegal move.
You want to talk about parallels?
Sure.
Over the top, you've got this Predator. You've got the Dylan, you son of a bitch, and they both fucking just lock arms. And it's just these scenes that parallel each other to show you how fucking strong these guys are.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all it is. It's just them flexing.
Yeah, because
for an hour and a half.
All of our action stars now, they're cut, but they're not ripped. Like Jason Statham, fucking cut.
Yep.
Chris Pratt nowadays, fucking cut.
Yeah.
But back in the 80s, they weren't.
Well, Chris Pratt wasn't.
Jason Momoa, I feel is pretty.
Jason Momoa's pretty big, but he's more cut than he is like fucking
like bulky.
Yeah, like
yeah,
Bulked up.
yeah. Well, because a lot of these movies now, like, and I feel like John Wick's a big part of this, but like they have to do some sort of martial arts.
Yeah.
Back in the day, it was just hard right hooks and uppercuts.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, well,
Very
go
true.
look at the way they handle guns in old movies until the 90s when they finally like people started knowing about Navy SEALs and Delta Force and military guys started,
cocksucking
you know,
Navy SEALs.
those cocksucking Navy SEAls.
They're
But,
kind of
like,
pussies.
Kind of
If you
pussies.
think about
If you
it.
think about it.
It's a Shane Gillis reference, by the way.
But
guys.
if you go watch 80s action movies, they clearly had no military people on set consulting. Like the way they fucking handle guns, the way they shoot guns. They're 99% of the time they're not even fucking aiming at anything.
But not only that is how hard is it to look cool holding a bow?
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, like there's only really one way to hold and aim down a bow.
yeah. And I also, and what's
Crossbow.
weird is like in an 80s movie,
Daryl Dixon.
having your fucking M16 down here looked cool.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they thought this wouldn't look cool.
Yeah, it looks just
But
as
like
cool.
now, we watch these movies, and like if I watch a military movie or something where they're handling guns and they're not handling them properly, it
Yeah.
actually, I'm like, that just looks fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You're
it
really
doesn't.
gonna fuck yourself up.
Yeah,
in a modern movie, it would.
Yeah.
In these movies, when you
Yeah.
look back, it doesn't because
Yeah.
they fit. It fit.
it fit
for
the time.
theme. It did.
yeah.
Unless
So-
you were fresh out of the military.
From over the top, we move on to Rambo 3, the weakest of all the Rambo films.
So I'm not familiar
In
with
my
this
opinion.
film.
Rambo 3 was more like a love story.
that was.
Are there two other Rainbow movies? It's not Rainbow 6.
Rambo.
Oh, you said Rainbow.
I said Rambo, didn't
I
I?
could have sworn.
I thought you said
That's
Rainbow.
why I
I
said
was-
that the third one was more
Okay.
of a romance.
Like a rainbow in the dark.
I thought you were saying fucking. Okay, no.
Rambo.
I literally just watched Rambo 3 the other day.
I was like, what do you mean you're not familiar? I was
like, I literally
you
just
thought they
watched-
ended it too?
I literally just watched. No,
Bambi
no.
3. Bambi 3.
I literally just watched Rambo 3.
Rambo
like
3
3 days ago.
and like and we talked about this, like the naming of that series of films makes no fucking
Right.
sense.
It really
you have
doesn't.
First Blood,
First Blood
and
Part 2.
then Rambo First Blood Part 2, and then Rambo 3.
yeah,
Like it just doesn't.
it doesn't make any fucking sense. Well, and then from there you go into Rambo
Yeah.
when you
Rambo.
jump up into the early into
Which
the 2000s.
I haven't
Yep.
seen.
Which is
have you not
it's
seen?
good.
Have you
It's
seen
good.
Last Blood?
No.
No.
Okay,
All
we'll
of
talk about
so
that, but I
so
loved
all
Last
of
Blood.
those I haven't watched Balboa. I didn't watch Creed. I didn't see any of those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've
Well, no.
seen
Okay. So
Balboa.
now that I know we're talking about Rambo and not Rainbow,
3.
Rambo 3.
Yeah. Fuck yourself.
It is the weakest, but I still enjoy that. I love the whole like he's stick fighting in Taiwan or Thailand, and he's working at this monastery.
Yeah.
I told you I'm out of this war. My war's
Okay.
over.
That was another thing in those 80s action movies, like
Bringing back
the whole like I'm out of the game.
yeah yeah
I don't do
All
that
right, one
anymore.
last job.
Yeah.
Like, all right, okay.
yeah. It's always getting the mercy, and we'll touch on this much later in another episode.
You're gonna
But
touch on me?
I'm gonna bring this up, which is why like some of the movies that Steven Seagal makes these days are even
good
funnier
Lord.
because he's still doing that 80s trope. Where,
He's like-
like,
Have you seen
He's
his
like-
recent
the sniper film?
No, have you not a film? Like there's a recent of him doing martial arts.
Oh yeah, his
dude,
and
where
you
he
could-
like barely
Akimbo.
lifts his leg.
Yeah.
This guy is helping him out so much because the guy's just going in for a punch.
Swiping.
Dude, this dude is doing a barrel
Yeah,
roll to the
he's
ground.
just-
There's like, there's no way.
he looks like a cat swatting at a toy. He's just
The thing is,
Yeah.
but
if these
It's still-
guys, if Arnold or Sly, and yeah, I interrupted you, and I'm not sorry about it. If Arnold or Sly made a movie now that was like, I'm out of the game, you'd be like,
yeah,
all right, like,
yeah.
because you're 70.
but you're like, I want to see him back in the game.
Yes.
With,
That's what
with
Rambo
any
was.
with any Seagal movie where he's like, I've been out of the game, you're like, yeah, and you should stay out of
yeah,
it. Like,
well, and that's like it's I've seen.
Man, we're putting him down.
I've
Are
seen
we gonna
all
do?
guys- Oh,
oh,
we are going-
he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, hopefully we're not doing an episode of him.
We are going to do an episode of him, but we're
Shit.
probably going to tear him to shreds.
Oh,
Because not only do his movies mostly suck, and I'm sorry if you're
low
a Steven
budget.
Seagal fan,
They're like all low budget.
but he's a fucking asshole.
He is a fucking
he
asshole,
is.
but what I love is he's still trying to do that. Like, we pretty much got rid of
he
that.
thinks he's the biggest badass.
We still pretty much
he's
got
so,
we got rid of that
misogynistic.
trope because it doesn't make
Yes.
sense anymore.
It's so,
And it kind of goes along with like the gunplay in movies now, where like they clearly know how to hold a gun like an actual,
Yes.
and all that shit. So like the trope of going and finding somebody that's been retired and bringing them, it doesn't make sense anymore because it's like, how big are the Navy SEALs? How big is Delta Force?
Yes.
How big is SAS? Like, no. You don't need to go grab the dude that's been retired for 10 years. We got guys to handle this shit.
Yeah.
But Steven Seagal is still making movies where they come to them and be like, you're the only one that can handle this mission. It's like,
Well,
no, I'm pretty
I mean,
sure the 25-year-old.
even through the like he was like in the 90s, he was making movies that would have been good in the 70s.
Right.
yeah. Well, it was also funny that like in those movies back then that we're talking about, that these guys are like, I'm out of the game, have been for years, and they're like 38.
Yeah.
And you're like, why? What? Stay with it for
What?
another 10 years and then retire. What are you doing?
But now that is out of the game, what, 5 months?
Right.
Yeah.
Like what? You're like fresh out of the game, man.
Out
Get
of the
back
hole?
in it.
Yeah.
Commando. He's
Like-
Commando. They come to tell John Major. They're not like getting him back in the game, but that's still the same thing. It's like
Yeah.
your whole
Like-
unit's retired.
That's what I mean.
My kid
and
is
it's like how
what?
fucking
My
old
kid's
are
like
you?
4 or 5, so I've been out for 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Like
really
no,
taking
you're
hold
fresh
me.
out of the game,
Yeah.
man. Take a play out of Brett Favre's book. Stick with it as long as you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so Rambo 3. Then we get into one of my favorites, Tango and Cash.
Okay.
Tango and Cash, easily one of his best movies.
Yeah.
And Kurt Russell will be a good.
Snake
Good.
Plissken.
Yeah, that'd be a good topic for another day.
Snake
too.
Plissken.
Yeah.
Shot in St. Louis.
What?
Escape from New York was shot in St. Louis.
Was it? I did not know that.
Yeah, we'll get on that on the Kurt Russell episode.
Okay, we'll get into that. I did not know that. That's
Nuggets.
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 Nuggets. Tango and Cash, Rocky 5.
Rocky 5 is the robot.
That's
Rocky 5 is he's training a guy because basically he
Rocky
has
5.
to,
He's out of the game.
Yeah, Rocky 5 is the one where
he has to because he medically has to retire because
Yes.
of taking too many blows from Drago.
Yeah.
And this one, what was the guy's name?
I don't remember.
Is this the
Tommy
show?
Gunn.
Tommy
Tommy Gunn.
Tommy
is
Gunn.
who he's training.
My Tommy Gunn, see?
and then yeah, that's the one where he turns on him at the end because of money and status.
Yeah.
And then he still beats the shit out of him, even disabled.
Well, let's talk.
Touch me, I'll sue.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't touch me, I'll sue.
Let's talk about Tango and Cash. We kind of breezed over it.
Yeah,
a little
Tango
bit.
and Cash.
Tango and Cash. You touched over it.
You touched. I mean, I watched you touch yourself.
It's a great fucking movie, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're the one who went straight to Rocky 5.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, I mean, you actually, you're like, we
you were
glossed
like,
over that. You
all right,
fucking
Rocky
glossed
5.
over it.
All right. Well,
Rocky 5.
what do you want to say about Tango and Cash?
Nothing. It's literally a movie. It's one of the. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen
I
Tango
have
and
not
Cash.
seen it.
Have you seen Tango and Cash?
Probably not for 20-something years.
Okay. Well, anyway,
Tell me about
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
You can tell me about it.
No, it's okay. I mean, look, we gotta cut where
I'm
we
gonna
can.
go home
we
and
gotta
watch
save
something
time.
tonight.
We will. We'll revisit. We'll come back. Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Cliffhanger. We're getting into that.
Cliffhanger.
We're getting into
Yeah.
the goofy, not goofy, but like campy. Kind of. That was his era.
Cliffhanger is a great film. I mean, an iconic scene that is then later used for Ace Ventura.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely. With the raccoon.
With
Yeah.
the raccoon.
Which one? What was that? 2?
Yeah, that's
When
2
Nature
because
Calls?
that's why
That's
he
Nature
retires and
Calls.
goes to the
Because
monastery.
of the okay. Did
Because
you guys
of
ever watch the Ace Ventura
cartoon. A
Cartoon.
little bit.
Yeah.
I
Anyway.
couldn't describe any of it to you, but yes, I did briefly
Anyway,
watch that
Cliffhanger. I can't remember the last time I watched Cliffhanger.
I was still in diapers.
When you watched Cliffhanger.
No.
I probably saw it about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, I was maybe 13.
Not to say it's a bad movie. It's
And
a little
diapers.
campy, but I can't remember the last time I actually sat down and watched it all the way through. I remember like when I lived at home with my parents, we had cable, and like I'm flipping through, and I'm like, oh, Cliffhanger's on.
Yeah.
I watch
Yeah.
a scene, and
Yeah.
then I'm like, I'm gonna
Yep.
go do something else now,
Yeah.
or whatever, And it was just like, okay. Oh yeah, I remember that. And then it's just like, all right. Oh, look at him.
Gr-
He's hanging from a cliff.
John Lithgow.
John Lithgow.
Yeah.
John Lithgow.
I love John Lithgow.
I love John Lithgow.
John Lithgow's amazing.
Yeah.
Almost has a place on this podcast, but not quite.
Yeah.
He's done a lot of pseudo action
Yeah.
films. Never starred in any. Always played a bit part or some kind of
Was it RoboCop?
John Lithgow?
No,
Was he
that's
he was in
Kurtwood
RoboCop.
Smith.
Oh, that's Kurtwood
Kurtwood
Smith.
That is Red.
That's Red
in-
Foreman.
That's
Red Foreman.
That's who it is.
Kurtwood Smith's great. He belongs in that category.
Yes.
Rambo 3.
where he almost has a place on this podcast, but not quite.
He appears. He's in Rambo 3.
Yeah.
He's the CIA agent that comes to Thailand to recruit John.
So do you
Oh, yes,
really?
that's right.
Do you really not like Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
I don't. I mean, I don't.
It's just fun to make fun of.
Yeah, and it's more or less.
I mean,
I
it's
would
a
need to
goofy
go back
film.
and watch it.
It's goofy.
Yeah,
It's not meant to be taken seriously.
no.
That I would say kind of we're talking about the parallels between Sly and Arnold.
Yeah,
That kind of parallels Twins,
yeah,
Yes.
where it's okay, he's doing some, some comedy, showing a little bit
Yeah.
of range, and it doesn't make the mistake that Junior made, where they could have taken themselves too seriously on that
Yeah.
movie, but they did.
It leans into the camp and into the
It does,
cheese.
and it's great. And like I said, Estelle Getty is amazing in it. You couldn't have asked for a better, because Sly, he's not that tall.
No.
He's really not. But next to her, he looks so big.
Yeah.
And she's so little. And it works so well.
But then from Cliffhanger, we move into
Probably his best role.
honestly, probably my favorite Sly movie.
I think it's mine too.
I
We agree
really
on that.
do.
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. I was
Yeah.
going to say, what the hell?
Rob, yeah.
Demolition Man.
Rob gave us the touchdown.
Detective John Spartan,
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes,
I will. No.
Sandra Bullock,
We haven't got to
Rob
my favorite.
Schneider, and a cameo by Jack Black.
Yes.
Yes, and I would like to add, Judge Dredd is a very, very close second.
Oh, Judge Dredd's an
So
underrated film.
That is. I will have to say that is might be my first.
Rob Schneider's in that too.
Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he has two films with Rob Schneider.
He's one of the prisoners.
Yeah. Well, he
That is the second time Rob Schneider has come up in this.
yeah. Well, he goes on. I mean,
he
he's the
wasn't
one.
a carrot in that one.
He's the one that escapes with Dredd. But
Yeah.
back to Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man
Wesley
is
Snipes. That was my first Wesley Snipes movie. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
That
That's
was the
probably
first one I ever
probably
saw
me
with him.
too.
And I was like, who's this guy? Jacked.
He had that
Yeah.
slick gold hair.
That or
Yeah.
Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
He's in Major League 2, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah.
Major
Okay.
League.
Yeah. He's not in Major League. He's in Major League 2.
Major League 2.
He takes
Electric
over as
Boogaloo.
Wesley Snipes.
yeah, he takes over the role of what's the fucking Willie Mays Hayes.
He was.
Yeah.
He was in the first one.
No, different actor.
Same character.
Same character, different actor.
Who was the actor then in Major? In the first one, I thought it was Wesley Snipes.
Was
Talk about Demolition Man.
Rob,
right,
Rob you
Demolition
look that up. If you could, please. Demolition Man. No, you talk about Demolition Man. Rob's got it.
Talking about Demolition.
So, I mean, first of all, the three shells thing
Yes.
is one of the most iconic things. And then when he can't, he just comes out and he's like, "Fuck, shit, balls." But also created one of the creepiest props that they ever put inside of Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to a Planet Hollywood?
I think once.
So every Planet Hollywood had a replica of naked Sylvester Stallone
Yeah.
in the cryo, the ice cube.
Why?
I don't, and it was always hanging up on the wall, and it's like,
So Casey?
Yes,
Okay, hold on one sec.
That's right.
You're right.
I am right.
it is Wesley Snipes.
It
in the
was
first
Wesley
one.
Snipes because him and
No, then he's not in the second one. Who's in the second one?
yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember him and
So I had it reversed. He's replaced.
Charlie Sheen were fresh in that movie.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
right.
Because
Yes.
he goes, where'd you play? And he tells him where he played, and he goes, never heard of it. And it was basically a prison
Yeah,
one.
California
And he's
Penal
"Oh,
League."
shit."
Yeah.
So
Yes.
who plays that character in Major League 2? 'Cause
Electric
that-
Boogaloo.
Electric
I thought
Boogaloo.
I got the buzzer. I thought I was like, really? I'm wrong?
Well, you did get the buzzer. That was unintentional.
I did not know this. It's Omar Epps.
Omar, I knew it was
Okay.
somebody whose name we would
Yes.
recognize. Omar
Yes,
Epps.
Omar
yeah,
Epps.
because then he does would talk about fake movies within a movie. He does White Lightning, Black Thunder with Jesse Ventura.
Yes.
And the end of that clip is, well, I killed more men, but mine are the deadest. So, back to Demolition Man.
Demo Man.
I do want to say something about Demolition Man. So, people still talk about the seashell scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still don't understand the seashell.
Oh, there is
I
nothing
do
to
not-
understand. They've even said, they're like, yeah, we literally just made that up. There is no explanation for it. It
Yeah,
just-
because like people are like, if you know, you know. It's like
You're supposed.
But I don't know.
Is
Well,
it?
Nobody
But what is
knows.
it?
No, the if you know, you know is if you know that movie.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Okay, because I'm sitting there like, I know what movie it's in,
Young,
That's
San-
it. Then
but
you
I
know.
don't know what it does.
young Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the sex scene,
She was great.
Oh, the virtual sex scene.
Yeah.
and it freaked him out.
Yeah.
I would have freaked me out a little bit too, I think. You know, in a way.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I mean, anyway.
I'm
I
really
can
hungry
imagine.
right now,
Yeah.
and Taco Bell sounds amazing.
Taco
Oh,
Bell.
yeah, that's
Absolutely. Yeah.
the future.
Jim's on the move. So
The future is Taco Bell.
Judge Dredd. Judge
Yes.
Dredd. Like you said, it maybe probably one of the first Stallone movies I saw, but definitely probably yours.
Oh, see,
Probably the first one you saw.
If Rocky,
Yeah.
it's a tie between the first Rocky and Judge Dredd, because not only that is when even the remake was great with Keith Urban.
I didn't watch that one, but I do love
So
Keith Urban.
good,
What?
but
No,
he
not
went-
Keith. Keith Urban?
No,
No,
Carl Urban.
Carl Urban. my bad.
Keith
Not the-
Urban's
not the
the,
singer.
Keith Urban is
that's
the
singer.
Australian country
Nicole
singer.
Kidman's
Not the singer.
husband.
Yeah.
Are they still together?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, after she got out from under Tom Cruise,
Carl
she's been with Keith
Urban.
Urban since.
Mr. Doom.
I like Nicole Kidman.
I like Nicole Kidman.
Is she
She was in
Moulin Rouge?
she was in the Batman with Val Kilmer.
Yes,
She was. She was
he was so good.
not Vicky Vale. What was
No,
her
she
name?
was the psychologist.
She was a psychologist. Yes.
Chase something.
yeah.
I love Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer's gonna have to be one of our top.
Oh yeah.
I
But
have
Dredd's one of those, like, going back to Dredd, that's one of the ones where he just jumps.
Carl Urban or
Stallone.
No, Stallone.
Sly.
Stallone really puts that serious badass role in Dredd.
What is it? What does he say? I am justice.
I am the law.
I am the law.
Oh, he was Christian Bale in The Dark Knight.
I am the law. I am the law. The lip is really out. Where is she? You've got the Stallone lip. I am the law.
You guys ever see Copland?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
There's one. What's the one around the same time where the tunnel collapses? He's a rescue guy. Tunnel collapses.
Daylight.
I think it is
Are we
Daylight.
in the 90s now?
That is, dude. That is a movie.
Yes.
That for some
Late 90s.
reason, I have seen the first half of Daylight probably 5 times. I've never finished that fucking movie. When I was a kid, we used to go to Hilton Head a lot, and like while the parents before we were old enough to like go out and do stuff, our parents would say, I and my cousins and my brother, we would go to the movie store and we'd pick out a couple of movies.
Yeah.
Men at Work was one we always watched on vacation. Not an action movie, but
Okay.
just kind of give you a frame.
Solid film.
Solid film.
Solid film.
But I remember Daylight.
That's where I first heard Golf Clap.
Yeah, golf clap.
Yep.
But Daylight, I remember we rented Daylight, and like I didn't finish it as a kid. And then I got older, and I was like, I should finish this fucking movie. And I tried, and I fell asleep. And I tried again, and I fell fucking asleep.
It's funny that you say that because I've never seen it all the way through. I've probably seen the whole movie
yeah.
by seeing bits of it, like the beginning, middle, and at
Yeah.
different times. I've probably seen it all, but never once.
I
all
mean,
the way
I
through.
assume they get out of the tunnel.
Dude, that would suck if like, you watch it for 2 hours and you're like, oh, what?
they just okay. They didn't get out of the fucking tunnel.
I want to talk about Antz. His fucking voiceover in Antz. I fucking
He's the soldier
love it.
ant.
He's the
He's
soldier.
he's one of the
ant.
soldier
But not only
ants.
that is
It's him and Woody. It's him and Woody Allen.
Yeah, him and Woody. You know how many how many kids went and saw that movie?
Oh,
and
dude,
and then
and
like it was not a kid.
So
it wasn't really a kid.
It
movie.
wasn't sausage party levels.
Right.
We hadn't gotten there
It
yet
was
as a
curse,
society.
a lot of cursing.
But they're like at a bar.
They're at a bar
drinking.
drinking, and he's depressed. And and Stallone's character as an ant is like trying to boost him up. He's like, "What are you being a bitch about?"
Yeah, and
then
they're drinking out of these like little larvae.
They're
and
literally
he even mentions he's like, like in his Woody Allen voice, he's like, I just don't feel comfortable drinking out of the anus of another creature.
Yeah,
you know
that's so fun. I haven't seen Antz since.
Oh, I watched it as a kid.
Oh, I own it.
I watched it as a kid. I had it on VHS. My parents probably at that point didn't care because I was also watching South Park.
And then you have the scene, and then you have the scene where they're like out. They're him and the queen are out or the princess, and they get stuck to the bottom of the shoe, and Abraham Lincoln is because they're stuck to gum on the bottom of the shoe, and they're going to scrape it off. The person's scraping it off with the
dude, that was
penny,
a star-studded
and it was a
movie.
Lincoln, and he looks up, he goes, "Who the fuck is that?"
Yeah, they dropped an F-bomb. It was a PG-13 movie.
Yeah.
Was it really?
It was a PG-13 movie.
Yes, because it was PG, and then they threw all this. Like, well, we can't do that.
Yeah, that's
we've already
and
thrown
at that
bitch,
time,
I guess
and
I need to
we already threw fuck.
I guess I need to go rewatch Antz.
Yeah.
But not a whole lot of people because it was a cartoon.
Yeah.
And in the trailers they never showed any of that.
Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman
was the voice of the villain, and then
general.
The guy from
He was the
Welcome to
general.
Mooseport.
he was the general.
that was like the last movie he did.
That is the last movie he ever did.
He retired.
Yeah,
after that.
But that's why I
Yes.
not to ruin the joke, but that's why I had to say the guy
Okay,
from
sorry, I
Welcome
ruined
to
the joke.
Mooseport.
And his right hand man was voiced by Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
Yep.
That is a star-studded
That is
fucking
a-
movie.
yes, it
Who
is.
was the girl? Was it Charlize Theron? Who played the? Look up Antz for me real quick, Rob. Antz with a Z.
Yeah.
I'm already on it.
All right.
I can't remember who the
This is what we
female
have Rob
actors-
for. That's why
Woody
he's off
Allen,
mic.
Sharon Stone,
Sharon
Stone.
Gene
Stone.
Hackman, Sly, Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aykroyd was.
Jane
He was
Curtin,
like
Danny
the.
Glover.
Danny
Jennifer
Glover
Lopez.
played the soldier who died.
Yeah.
Wait, was I wrong? Was Gene Hackman?
Christopher-
Did you say Gene
yeah,
Hackman?
Gene Hackman's
Okay.
the lead
Christopher
general,
Walken.
Yeah. Christopher Walken. He does his voice. He says,
Yep.
"I'm doing what's good for the colony."
Yeah,
sir."
he really plays the assistant.
Oh, and Jerry Stroka.
Get the fuck out of
Really?
here.
No,
Jack DeSena.
no Jack DeSena. Well, no. So the
Inside
reason,
joke, guys. Sorry.
so the reason I'm on IMDb is Antz 98. There's a few other movies in there. And I want to jump to 2001. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this because to me, especially given the sports climate now, it's a movie ahead of its time.
Driven.
Driven.
Okay. You said 2001. That's like the
Yeah.
only thing he did in 2001.
Yeah.
But if that movie came out now or 5 years ago, it would have been way more popular because F1 has taken over the world now.
Yeah, there wasn't a place for it at that
Yeah,
time.
nobody really gave a shit about Formula One at the time. Only very wealthy people. Well, that's the whole thing with F1 in the last 8 years is the guy that bought F1 wanted to turn it into a global thing. The guy that used to own it wanted it to be only for the rich.
I thought Driven was based off a video game.
It's open. It's basically it's F1. They don't call it
Driver?
Formula One.
Yeah, Driver.
Yeah, you're thinking
Yeah.
of Driver.
I'm thinking
Driven.
Was that
is
the one
like
with
Driven.
Gosling?
No, well, that's
Driver?
not based. There was no movie based on Driver. There is a movie called Driver, but it's not. It has nothing to do with the video
Was
game.
that Gosling or was
Yeah, that was
Drive?
Gosling.
Who was
No,
in
that might have
Drive?
been Drive.
One of them was Hemsworth. One of them was Gosling. There's Drive and Driver.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't remember which one
one's
is which.
But Driven. So there's a movie coming out on Apple this year called F1. Literally, it's Brad Pitt, some other guy. And now that they have, it's some young actor that's not a known guy.
Brad Pitt and not Brad Pitt are in that movie. We know
But
for sure.
what's interesting to me is that Driven is basically the Formula One movie that's coming out, but 20 years ago, because the premise of this new Formula One movie is a lower budget team. They've got the old guy Brad Pitt that used to be superstar, and he kind of comes back to help this younger guy. And literally that's what fucking Driven is. It's just not called Formula One in the movie. I don't think.
No.
And the only scene there's two scenes in that movie I remember distinctly. There's the scene and the guy's name is Jimmy. Jimmy freaks out. He hops in the car at the party and takes it out of the building, and they fucking race through the streets of Chicago.
Yeah.
popping the fucking the sewer covers off. And then the other one is this whole thing where he like tosses these quarters on the track, and then he goes around and he picks up each quarter with his tire, so there's 3 quarters embedded in his hot tire.
Yes. You know what? I'm glad you brought up Driven, because do you think that kind of like it wasn't successful?
No.
Like you said, and it just, there wasn't a place for it there. For a little while after that, he wasn't really like, he was kind of doing bit parts and some cheesy movies. He was a villain in like a straight to DVD Spy Kids movie.
Spy Kids
3.
Yeah. Well, you know what though?
Like, the only one I saw.
Yeah,
but you know what? I will say. But here's the thing. Here's what I'll say.
He was a game master.
So you know who directed the Spy Kids movies, right?
Was it Guillermo del Toro?
No, it was.
Was it Jimmy Cams?
No, Grindhouse.
No,
fucking Dusk Till Dawn.
Wait, what?
Tarantino?
No, not Tarantino.
The other one, Freddy Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Freddy Rodriguez.
So Machete is in the Spy Kids movies.
Yes. Dude, he's the uncle.
As Machete.
He's the uncle.
Have you guys? You're right.
As Machete.
You're right.
So those are Rodriguez films, and if you go look at the casts of every Spy Kids movie, they're fucking studded because it's a Rodriguez
Banderas
film.
is in all of those.
Yeah,
He's like,
I mean, like Alan Cumming is in one. I mean, it just
who's coming?
Yeah,
Alan is coming.
That dude's awesome, by the way.
But those,
I love that.
So
he was
you're
Nightcrawler.
not wrong that he went into this phase where he did a lot of like side parts, bit parts. But to call out, if you go look at the Spy Kids movies and look at their casts, I can't fault the man for that one, because every Spy Kids.
I remember seeing the first one in theaters. And I was just like, "What the hell?"
Spy Kids.
Every Spy Kids movie had a star-studded fucking.
I didn't
cast.
see the second one, and then I saw the third one.
Side note on that: have you guys ever seen the movie 4 Rooms?
4 Rooms. Oh yeah, my brother loves that. I've only seen it once. My brother loves that fucking movie. Quentin Tarantino wrote one of the.
There's
4 films. Basically.
4 different. So it's 4 different filmmakers. Tarantino and Rodriguez are 2 of them. I forget the other 2 right now. They escape me. The one main star of the film is Tim Roth.
Love Tim Roth.
And he's a bellhop.
Yep.
And each room that he goes to of these 4 rooms is written and directed by a different director.
Yeah.
It's fucking phenomenal.
Like,
if you're a film geek, you gotta watch it. Even if you're just an appreciator of film, you still gotta watch it, dude. Like,
True Romance, written by Quentin Tarantino.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that fucking movie.
Yeah.
Christian Slater is, I think, one of the most underrated actors.
Broken Arrow.
But we're back on Sly Stallone. He didn't do much until we get to Rocky Balboa.
Yes.
And this is the resurgence of his career that we are still honestly in right now.
Yes.
What were have you seen Balboa?
I haven't. I haven't seen any of the new.
It has one of the most touching quotes.
That is the film where, and I feel like this quote. I feel like this quote gets attributed to being older than it is. It ain't about how hard you get it. It's about how hard you can get it and keep getting back up.
Oh, he wasn't that angry. He wasn't that angry. He got emotional because of his son. I cried.
That was a scene that we watched in so many classes in high school. Like it came up as
it was like so many. Like I remember because in high school our coach would do that for wrestling and football.
That speech,
all sporting events, he would put that freaking quote.
That quote. 2 big things I saw in high school, both in sports and in like other classes, just that would get played a lot was that.
Yeah.
And Braveheart's freedom, or not freedom speech, but the Braveheart. Hi, you can run away, and you'll live for a while. But one day, when you're old and dying, you'll look back at this day and wish that you could come back here and fight for your freedom.
Yeah,
those
2
should
speeches.
Stick with that accent.
Yes,
do that.
For that freedom.
Do that as Stallone too.
It's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep getting back off.
Oh, dude, you sound exactly like Billy Connolly.
Oh yeah,
Billy Connolly.
Yes, you know who Billy Connolly is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a Troy Duffy fan, of course. You're
megastar director Troy Duffy.
Have you ever seen Brave? The Disney Pixar?
First of all,
Yes.
Merida is the only princess that fucking matters, right? I
Billy
love
Connolly.
Merida.
Billy Connolly is the
Yeah.
voice of the king.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he sounds like in that
Yes.
fucking movie.
Yeah,
Yep.
Merida. When we went to Disney World, we didn't even go to where Merida would be walking around, but there's only one princess I want my picture taken
Did you
with.
go to Disney World?
We went to Hollywood and
Hey, you went off topic. Come on, go back to the accent.
Hollywood. We went to Hollywood, and then we went to Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
And did the Avatar thing. And that Avatar, it's crazy.
It's awesome.
It's fucking
Isn't
wild.
it fucking amazing?
Yeah,
you
it
know
really is.
I'm a Disney adult,
Dude,
so
we,
you know
we
I've
rode
been
it.
there.
We
I've
rode
seen all
that shit 3 times.
Never.
Yes. It's amazing.
Yes.
The Flight Passage.
Merida
Did you do the Navi River journey?
Yeah, we did it. But Merida is
And this
the
is
one.
Disney.
This is Disney
Yeah,
World.
it's-
Oh,
I've
you
only been
gotta
to
go.
Universal.
Merida
gotta go.
is the one
You gotta go.
true
I really want to go.
Disney princess.
Sure.
Don't,
I'll
don't
give you
tell
that.
my wife
Anyway.
I want to go.
So, tell your wife. Yeah. Next time we go,
I'll buy you a souvenir.
Jess has been to Disney World, or maybe Disney World. She's been to Disney multiple times because her mom, when she was living down in Florida, I think she got like free shit.
dude, in a couple years, when little man and other little man are old enough, we'll do a whole big thing. Rob and Tori will go. We'll do
We'll do
all.
a big.
Yeah.
Stay at the Polynesian.
We'll stay. Jesus Christ! You can
We'll
stay at the
stay-
Polynesian.
I'll stay at the red roof inn.
We'll drive over to the Polynesian and see you.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't have
I'll
that
be in
kind
the
of
Red
money.
Roof
No, we some
did
of the
s-
moderate resorts.
We
aren't that bad.
did stay on property. It wasn't too bad.
We
for 2
like
nights.
Caribbean Beach.
Yeah, ours was something else like Caribbean Beach. It was. I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
You're not there for the hotel. At least I'm not. I mean, you know.
The hotels are nice though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've stayed at the Swan when I was a kid a bunch.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If we don't stop, the rest of this episode's gonna be me talking about Disney.
Yeah,
World.
so let's stop. So let's circle back.
What movie are we on next?
We're on Balboa.
Well, we're
the
talking about
Incredible
Balboa,
Speech.
and then Rambo comes out.
And then Rambo.
So you're
comes
right.
out.
Balboa is like the resurgence of now, like it's like.
But it's wild.
There he is again.
His resurgence of his career is he had to go back to his originals. I will give Arnie credit that he has tried to redo his career by doing new movies and a TV show. I'm not saying they're good.
No,
but
I was
the
gonna
issue-
say if it comes down to we're talking about this whole like Arnie
Yeah.
Sly thing, I prefer Arnold Schwarzenegger
I do too.
I hate you all.
overall.
Well, you know what, Casey? Arnold hates you, and one day.
You hate him? Is that what you said?
No, I hate your guys' opinion.
Oh, that's fine.
Well, no,
that
but
doesn't
that
hurt my
tells
feelings
but,
at all.
No, but you know what? That tells me
Sly.
he hates Arnold. So
Oh no, I like.
No, he
Arnold.
just prefers-
I think he
prefer
just said he
Sly.
wanted to
He's
butt
a-
fuck Arnold.
He's a very, very big Rocky and Rambo fan. I know
Yes.
this
Okay,
guy.
fair enough.
So
Fair enough.
That's enough for it to push him over.
And don't get me
You're
wrong,
entitled
I
to your
like-
opinion.
I like Balboa. I like Rambo. But
He got pushed into ending those movies
yeah,
because they were like, "You need to." He didn't want to. He didn't want to end those movies. He's like, I could make maybe 2 or 3 more. I mean, heck, people still want to go watch them.
well, Last Blood. Did you ever see Last Blood?
No.
No,
Go watch Last Blood.
I saw the last one was Rambo, and I remember watching that and be like, well, he ended that great.
Okay.
Well, so
You know what though? Well, go ahead.
so Last Blood.
That's about
It
his
is-
grandkid, right?
So, spoiler alert: his granddaughter gets killed.
La 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 la.
So spoiler alert:
Oh, got headphones on.
his granddaughter gets killed.
He's talking directly
by the
into your
cartel.
You're in my brain.
And he kills a bunch of cartel people, and then he goes back to his ranch in Arizona, and he knows they're coming for him. Now he's been fucked up in the head, so he already has all these. He already has all these tunnels that he's built under his house for whatever, because he's a fucking weirdo.
He's Rambo.
Yeah,
Beep your pig.
but knowing the cartel's coming for him, he booby traps the fuck out of these tunnels under his house, and he's basically waiting for the cartel to come. And the back half of this movie, just all it is how many crazy fucking gory ways can Rambo kill some people.
Sweet.
And it is fantastic.
I'm
There is
watching
not a lot of substance to it, but it is just fucking awesome killing.
When did this come out?
2019 maybe?
Say it had to have been about anywhere with like 5.
Because I want to say I watched it during COVID.
Well, okay, so what I was gonna say is like, so we talked about how like the resurgence of his career had to be him going back, right?
Yeah.
So Balboa, Rambo, and
2019.
I think that kind of mapped out where his career was gonna go, because if you think about it, after that, everything he's done since then that's been popular, The Expendables,
Yep.
Grudge Match. It's been things where he's going back and he's collaborating with other people and kind of going back into this sort of like 80s action movie kind of style and genre, right?
Yep.
So The Expendables, I only saw the first one. Maybe the second one.
I saw the second one.
Maybe. I know I haven't seen all of them. It's one of those things that I've definitely watched like just in passing where it's like I'm hanging out, drinking with a group of buddies. It's on in the background, but I'm not paying full attention to it, you know? And Grudge Match I never did watch with him, and that was basically Raging Bull versus Rocky, right? I mean, that's what that all came down to, right? Was because it's De Niro and Stallone, Raging Bull, you know. What was his name in Raging Bull?
Robert De Niro's name in Raging Bull? Fuck.
But that's essentially what Grudge Match is.
Yeah, it's Raging Bull.
Raging Bull and Rocky, and then let's put those two. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, that's kind of where he ends up in his career.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that's a bad place to be.
No, I don't. Not at all.
He's living out everything that
you know
made
what?
him famous.
Here's the thing. I enjoy all of those, so I'm totally okay with it. I don't think any of those films ruined any of the legacy or any of that. So, you know, honestly, I appreciate the Expendables movies. To me, I view the Expendables movies kind of in the same way I look at the Fast and Furious films. Like, a lot of people will shit on the Fast and Furious movies because they get ridiculous and they're fucking absurd.
Yeah.
But, dude, no one wrote Fast 9 trying to win a goddamn fucking Oscar.
But now,
right? Like, Expendables is the same way.
Yeah.
Slide didn't go out creating the Expendables being like, all right, I need that Oscar.
No.
I need an Oscar, baby. No,
but not only that is
He doesn't want it at this point. He doesn't care. I mean,
he's also helping out these young actors that he put in this movie to try to get them like Liam Neeson.
He's won Oscars before, right?
Yeah, not Liam Neeson. I'm sorry, Chris Hemsworth. Brother.
No, it was one of the Hemsworth. It wasn't Chris.
It was his brother.
Yeah,
Neeson.
His brother.
Well, you know, there's 4 Hemsworths and they all act. Three of them. I
don't have money.
3 of them are sexy.
Very particular.
One of them is like, again, he's not ugly, but he's just very average looking. He was in the show Westworld.
Okay,
so
I never watched that show.
The ugly. I don't want to call him the ugly one, but for all intents and purposes.
Never heard of Westworld?
Nope.
How have you never heard of Westworld?
Because I haven't.
Incidental side note, did you know Michael Crichton was like 6'11"?
Was he really? No shit.
He was like super tall and like into basketball and shit. He like apparently used to play like, I think, college ball? I could be wrong.
First of all,
he did Jurassic
you never
Park
heard of
and
Westworld. It was written and directed by Christopher Nolan's brother, Jonathan Nolan, that helped him write all of the fucking Batman movies, but also starred Ed Harris, Evan Rachel Wood, Jeffrey Wright, fucking Thandie Newton.
Hold on,
James
let's go
Marsden.
back. You're talking about Westworld, the series, right?
Yeah.
Are we thinking of the same thing? Was Anthony Hopkins in that?
Yeah. No. Anthony Hopkins. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Westworld.
Jimmy Simpson.
I never watched Jimmy Simpson. Liam McBoyle.
So again, he's not ugly, but this is the non-Hemsworth brother.
Oh, which one
looks
is that?
like Mark Wahlberg.
Huh?
Which one is that?
That is Luke Hemsworth. He's in Westworld.
Okay. He looks like Mark Wahlberg.
Is he the one that shows up in that one Thor movie?
Possible. Okay, I'm sorry. There's only a total of 3 of them. So there's Chris, Liam.
Yes.
There's Chris, Liam, and Luke.
Okay.
Yeah, because Liam's the one in the Expendables that he was.
He gets
Liam's
the
the one
knife to the chest.
Yeah, he's
from
the one
JVC.
Yeah, and they did an interview about that, and he talked about
JVC's going to be another
JVC
topic.
kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah, but didn't he say he apologized after he was he felt bad?
He didn't.
Oh, he didn't.
He said he was trying to explain to him that he didn't use his full power and kick him because
that was his version. That's Jean-Claude Van Damme's version of an apology is
I
could have hurt you more.
He basically goes it was because Liam was being interviewed on the Graham show.
Graham Norton.
Yeah. He was saying it was something about saying that he held back.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't what he fully did. And he goes, "Oh no, I felt it. It was not held back."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "No, I could have fully kicked you."
Well, alrighty. Hey,
so let's real quick.
Expendables. Go ahead.
We did Expendables. Escape Plan. We talked about it.
Escape Plan wraps it up.
So when we're talking about, like you said, him going back and collaborating with all these people, it's just like getting Pacino and De Niro together, getting Sly and Arnold together in just a beautiful tale of two men in prison. Escape Plan.
Like I Love You. What was it? I Love You, John Morris.
Yeah.
That's for a different
Escape Plan. You ever see Escape Plan?
I have not.
Have you seen Escape Plan?
No, I still haven't watched it.
Rob, have you ever seen Escape Plan? Well, fuck, what are we doing a podcast about action movies? I'm the only motherfucker here that's all Escape Plan starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and fucking Sly Stallone.
I mean,
by the way,
they're doing it based on their freaking most popular freaking movies.
But they have one movie like where they co-star.
Yeah.
Truly a forgettable film, by the way.
Yeah.
Just I watched the shitty sequels recently. I'm doing my research for this podcast. What about you?
We'll do our part next week.
You fucking
Escape Plan wraps it up on Sly. We are going into Pop Quiz Hot Shot. You guys ready?
Shoot the hostage.
All right. So, Jim is the defending champion. Casey is the challenger. So Casey starts us off.
Cowboy.
Casey starts us off this week. Casey, first question. Where was Sylvester Stallone born? This is a multiple choice. A, Italy. B, United States of America. Or C, Sicily.
It was C, Sicily.
No.
That's right.
No.
So
United
right.
States.
Jim with the steal.
United States.
Yes, he was born in New York
Philly.
City.
Oh,
He was born in New York?
City.
I thought he was born in Philly.
I don't
All right.
know.
So, Jim, next question.
Hold on real quick. As an Italian, I do appreciate that you separated Italy and Sicily.
Okay, yes.
Thank you.
All right. So, name the film. I'm going to give you a tagline, and I want you to name the film that matches that tagline. No man, no law, no war can stop him.
Rambo.
No. I can't give you that one. With
First
Steel.
Blood Part 2.
It was First Blood Part 2, wasn't it?
It's First Blood 2. Okay.
Half a point.
Half a point
Half
each.
a point.
So I'm at 1.5. Yeah.
1.5.
Dumb as you think I am.
Whenever he got left behind.
Yeah.
Okay. Because half a point each, and I'm gonna give him.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna give him the first. Okay. So Casey, which Oscar was Sylvester Stallone not nominated for Rambo? A, Best Original Screenplay. B, Best Actor. Or C, Best Director.
I think it was B.
Best Actor?
Yes.
No.
He wasn't the director. He didn't
Jim
direct
with the
it.
steal?
He's not the director.
Best Director?
Yeah, that's what he
See?
was not
That's
nominated
correct.
for.
See?
Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
He co-wrote the script.
Oh, because I thought he directed it.
No,
too.
he co-wrote the script. He directed. Did he direct the first Rocky movie?
He might have. I don't.
I know he wrote. So he wrote Rocky straight up. He co-wrote First Blood because it was based on a book.
Yeah.
So he didn't really know how to adapt it fully into a screenplay.
Okay. All right. Okay. So next question goes to Jim. You're at what, 2.5 points? He's at a half point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
0.5.
So Sylvester Stallone, this is going back to early life. He was expelled from a number of schools for antisocial and violent behavior before the age of 13. How many schools was he expelled from during that time? A, 14, B, 10, C, 5, or D, 12?
5.
Wrong.
Really?
That's right.
No, it's not right. That's not right. Casey with the steal, so it wasn't 5.
I
So
was
A,
thinking 10.
14, B, 10, or D, 12.
I was thinking B.
B, 10. That is also incorrect. The correct answer is A, 14 schools
No
before the age of
shit.
I'm
13.
not as dumb as you think I am.
Well, apparently you are.
He might be. All right.
He's street smart.
Final question. I'm going to give it back to Casey because I think he needs a chance to try to do something in this.
I really do.
Where does Rocky keep his gym lock combination written?
It was written in his palm.
Incorrect.
Or on his glove.
Incorrect. Jim with the steal?
Oh, shit, I know. God damn it.
Go ahead and
Are you
steal.
going
It
to
was
give him
in
a
his
chance?
hat.
You want to give him a chance?
It was in his hat.
It was in his
it
hat.
was in his
It
hat.
was in his
Honestly,
hat.
I'll
right.
pull that out of my ass. I was going to say hat.
It was in his hat.
It was in the brim
That
of his
puts
hat.
you at
Oh,
1.5 points. Unfortunately, you're still a point shy. So Jim is still our reigning champion.
All right.
That's right.
And we have officially played for blood with Sylvester Stallone.
Thank you for playing for blood.
Who is next on the docket, Rob? Do we
I need
have
to
a,
watch some movies.
Do we have a specific list written down?
How about this? I'll throw out 3. You guys pick one.
Okay.
Britney
Mel
Spears.
Gibson.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Shit, I had these written down.
George Clooney.
Fuck did I put my
Hey, way to be prepared.
Literally,
You
my
give
phone
us
is
shit
in
about
my
it.
fat fold. Literally had it tucked in my fat fold.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis, Chuck Norris, or Mel Gibson.
Okay. Do we want to leave it up to the... How do we want to do this?
The champion should choose.
No. I wanted this to be a collective. Let's
Take a vote?
Yeah,
I vote Bruce Willis.
As well.
I'm good with Bruce.
Rob?
Like it matters.
It's not
All right.
Lee.
I'll go fuck myself. All right, Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis next time, folks.
Bruce Willis and Bruce Lee.
Bruce Willis will be our next topic. What's that?
I would have been the tiebreaker.
Okay, Rob would have been the tiebreaker.
Which we didn't need.
Thank you guys so much for playing with blood. We love you all. Appreciate you. Bruce Willis, next week. Tune in. Fuck bows.
Fuck bows.